Again, I want to wish us happy International Youth Day, and we are all youth, so here we are also here to learn together. So I will like to start with the saying which says, when there is a will, there is a way. That is, as a youth, when we understand that there is a way for us, that is, there we our perspective towards agriculture, when it started changing, that is when we change our mentality about agriculture, and changing it from the realm of we thinking about agriculture as a poor man business into a business that can turn us to the next Dangote. So because even the additional says that in agriculture, that is the next billionaire in Africa, it comes from agriculture, and I and you can be a part of this vision, and we can be a part of this mission. So we should all change our mentality to agriculture as a poor man's business, and we should do it as a business. So we understand that this is a business, and we should also make sure that we do it as a real business. So our willingness to understand that agribusiness is a profitable venture will provide a way for us, so that when we first change our mentality, that is our thinking, that agriculture is a business, that is the first thing we need to do, is to change what? Change our mentality, change our thinking, our mindset towards agriculture. So that is when we can now have a way for us. And what are the ways? They are the opportunities. So there are various opportunities that is inherent in agriculture. So we can, when we look at agriculture, we have the crop aspect and we have the livestock aspect. So it depends on which one you want to join. It depends on which area you have built capacity on. So as a youth, so I'm here to talk to youth, and also I'm also a youth, so we are going to be sharing ideas together tonight. So because we don't have much time left, so I will like to make us know that in this Nigerian economy presently, we should understand that there's opportunities for us. It's just left for us to do what? To identify that opportunity. So it's left for us to understand the value chain we can fit in as a youth. So we always think that it is only in production that we be having taking care of animals, taking care of this and that. No, agriculture has gone beyond that. You can be at the comfort of your house, marketing people's products and getting good money. So it is, you go and meet those farmers in the bush, those farmers staying in the local areas, connect with them, ask them of their products, and start doing what? Start helping them to market their products. So by doing that, you are also doing what? You are making money. So that is another value addition. And another thing you can do as a youth is, for example, now we are talking about rabbit tonight. You can start taking doing rabbit and doing what? Rabbit barbecue. So that is another way of adding value to your rabbit. So you can compare the money a producer will say is rabbit to a money that a man that has processed his rabbit is going to sell his own. That is the aspect of value addition. So tonight, let's just look at, because I don't believe every one of us know much about rabbit, and I will want to do an introduction to rabbit. So before that, I want us to understand that when you look at the average range of farmers nowadays, they are above 60 years. And to be frank with us, we can see that all these farmers is going to leave us soon. So as youth, we need to do what? We need to fill that gap. And I'm sure that after this program, after this seminar, after these 3 day seminars, youth will arise from us and begin to do what? We begin to fill this gap. So and it is high time we need to add creativity to agriculture. We need to add innovative ideas to agriculture, and we need to add value addition. That three things is crucial: creativity, innovative ideas, and value addition. So together we can make this nation great again. So I don't know wherever you are hearing me from. Maybe if you are not a Nigerian, together you can make your country great again by doing what? Participating in agriculture. So let's look at rabbit production. When we talk about rabbit farming, I know most of us are familiar with the word rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. But you know, when year 2020, when there's high cost of feeding, so people are actually looking for alternative to poultry meat, that is to broilers. And they broilers is a white meat and rabbit is also a white meat. So we can see that in rabbit production we can cut our cost. And as a farmer, what we are trying to arrive at is using a less input and to get more profit. I don't know, maybe you get that. Using a less input. When we talk about input, they are the feeds we use. They are the material you got in your farm. Maybe you are maybe the feeder. In case of rabbit, you need to get feeder, water trough, your cage must be ready. So these are the input you use, and using a little a cost less input to attain a higher profit. That is the gain. That is the mentality of a farmer. So when we notice that, we have seen a problem and we need to do what? To solve problems. And that is all about what we call entrepreneurship. As a farmer, as a businessman or businesswoman, you are an entrepreneur. And the goal of every entrepreneur is to do what? Is to make profit. So making profit from your rabbit farming means that you must do what? Reduce the amount you spend on inputs so as to get higher amount of profit. And when we look at broiler production, we can see that we spend a lot of input on, even majorly on feed. So we are now looking at the alternative we can use, and we see that rabbit is also a white meat that also has many advantages over the broilers. So that is why people are now venturing into rabbit. You can see during the corona period, people are going into rabbits because of what? Number one, they have fast growth rate. When you compare the growth rate of rabbits and broilers, you can see that they also grow rapidly, and the meat contain less fat. So you can see in rabbit production, their meat contain less fat, and it's very good for those that are hypertensive or those that are having diabetes. You can see that rabbit meat can be you can give advice to those people so that they can start eating rabbit meat. So, and the meat is highly nutritious, so high in protein. You can see, if you have eaten rabbit meat before, you can understand what I'm trying to say. So let us go to the uses of rabbit. I say production of meat in commercial scale. You can use rabbit meat for production of wool, and extensively rabbits are used for research. When you get to research institutes, you can see that majorly we use rabbit for research work. And also in the production of skin, you can see majorly of our the slippers we wear, all this we majorly we use some of this rabbit for to make all this. And when you look at broiler production and you look at rabbit farming, when we try to compare and contrast, you can see that you don't need a large expanse of land to start a rabbit farm. So you don't need a higher amount of money to start a rabbit farm. I want to implore us, for those that are hearing me tonight, that we can start a rabbit farm in your house just with two female rabbits and a male rabbit, and you are good to go. So it is an avenue for us to just start something from our backyard, start from backyard farming. So it is by doing that, when you'll be able to know some experience, you receive some experience, and then you can scale up with time. So it is, you don't need a large expanse of land, you don't need a plot of land, you don't need two plot of land. No, even your just a small portion at your backyard, you can start your rabbit farm over there, and it has a short gestation period. What do I mean by gestation period? That is the amount they conceived, and the amount they when they pasturate, that is when they give birth. So in rabbit, we term it as kidling. That is the heart of giving birth in rabbit. So that time is very short, and it is 31 days, just a month, and you are expecting baby. You are expecting a baby rabbit. So it is as easy as that, and it has fast growth rate, as I've said earlier. And you can feed your rabbit on meat devoid of cereals. When I talk about cereals, that means that they can eat grain, they can take a whole lot of grain and concentrate that, and the rabbit can thrive on those diets. And those diets are not, you cannot compare those diets with the one you are going to give your broilers. Knowing broiler production, all their feed from the broiler starter, the broiler finisher must be what? It must meet the nutritional requirement. But in rabbit, you can just use your grain, and you can feed your rabbit, and they will achieve what your aim, you achieve your purpose. But in rabbit production, I always advise that when you want to start your rabbit farm, because we don't have time, I will be make sure that we are getting it as I am moving. Please, if you are still with me, I want to hear from you. Are you still with me?
I'm still with you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, as I said, that you can, when you want to feed your rabbit, make use of concentrate and forages. So, what do I mean by concentrate? Concentrate are, maybe let me use the one that is very familiar to us when we talk about our growers mash. or the feed we use for maybe let's say point of lay birds, we also use it for let's just use point of lay. So when your growers mash, but it may come in form of pellet. So when you use that for your rabbit, you feed them in the morning. And the major reason why we are doing that is for them to attain higher weight. And you feed them on grass in the evening, which we call concentrate, and which we call forages. And forages come in two ways. We have the grass and the legumes. So I have examples of grass. When we look at example of grass, we have the Guinea grass, elephant grass, and when we talk about the legumes, we have the centrosema, we have the Tridus procumbens. We have a whole lot of forages you can use for your rabbit. So and another thing importance why we need to focus on rabbit is that it is less prone to disease. You know, when we look at you said tonight I'm majorly comparing rabbits with broilers, with poultry. No, they are quite similar, and they are the let me just say they are alternatives. So I will also like to compare now. When you look at broiler production, you know we vaccinate a lot from the Gumboro, from Lasota, from Fowlpox, but in rabbits, no vaccination. What you just need to do is just to take care of your rabbit very well, maintain proper hygiene, and you are good to go. There's lesser amount of money incurred on drugs. You don't need to buy drugs, you don't need to buy vaccine, just maintain a proper hygiene. And majorly, I will always advise farmers, it is in the aspect of what you feed your rabbit. That is when you can have problem. That is when you can have challenge. Because if you feed your rabbit the wrong thing, you will also receive a wrong output. If you feed with wrong input, you will always receive the wrong output. That is garbage in, garbage out. So majorly most farmers have problems in the area of feeding. They just think I can just feed my rabbit anyhow I want. Maybe they are rabbits. So it is a business. So and the purpose of you doing a business is to do what? Is to make profit. So you must watch all these uh, requirements for your rabbit. That is, you must make sure that you feed them the right thing at the right time. And there is no religion taboo. When we look at, for example, when we look at the pork, you can see there is religious taboo. Some religions does not take pork, and but rabbit, every religion accept rabbit. It is highly acceptable. And my key discussion one starts from starting a small scale rabbit farm. And because we always advise people to go start small and scale big with time. And tonight I will just advise us that it is important for us to start small. Why? You can see that you first need to build capacity for your business before you start, or you intend to scale your rabbit business big. So you must first need to do what? Start small. And in the area of you starting small, you are trying to learn. So when you start with just two females and a male, you are trying to learn, understand how this thing works. So understand how rabbit business works, how you feed them, how you take care of their babies. This is what you need to know before you now think I can now enlarge my coast. So because we always, the reason why majorly most farmers fail is because they doesn't know anything about the business and they want to scale big because they have the money. It's not about the money, it's about the knowledge you have on that business. And I will always say, if you want to start, just start with two females and a male. And in rabbit, a female is called doe and the male is called buck. But we are not here for the theories tonight. We are here to receive an insight into rabbit production. So start small and think big. So let's go to rabbit feeds and feeding. So I said earlier that rabbits are monogastric herbivorous animals, and they can thrive solely on forages. And I divided that forages into two, which are the concentrate and the legumes. They are the grasses and legumes, sorry. So they are the grasses and legumes. And I made mention of the examples of grasses we have and the examples of legumes we have. So you can feed them on these two, but make sure you supplement it with concentrate. On my farm, I do it this way. I give concentrate in the morning, and I also administer to them forages in the evening. So but the forages must come in a dry form, not so dry. That is, when you want to give them forages in the evening, you cut the forages in the morning. And what do we term as forages? They are grasses. I know that word is very common to us. We know what we term grasses and legumes. So these are what you cut in the morning. You sun dry it, you air dry it. You don't sun dry, you don't put them in the sun. You air dry where there's ventilation, and in the evening you give to your rabbit. And why do we need to do all this process? when you cut your grass in the morning, there can be some ants, there can also be some worms, there can be some insects early in the morning. And when you give it to your rabbit, at that moment in time, when they consume it, there will be problem. That is why I said in rabbit, the major reason why we have problem is because uh, with what we give to our rabbit. I saw some comment now that I should use Yoruba as well. So I will also try that as we proceed, because those listening to us at the moment, they are not just from Nigeria. We also have people listening to us from other country. So we need to be formal. Thank you so much for following. And that is that about that. And I also should tell you this: when you want to give your rabbit feeds, it should be pelletized. So pelletized feed, we should be, I know most of us understand what we term as pelletized. I don't know, Mr. Samuel, can I share my screen so that I can show us how a pelletized feed should look like? Okay, let me continue. So rabbits enjoy dried as sweet potato leaves. What do you say there?
Please,
All right, thank you so much, ma.
we can ask you to jot down.
Okay, no problem. So, from where I stopped, I said rabbits enjoy forages, dried as sweet potato leaves. Okay, let me also add this. In rabbits, you can give them your kitchen remnants, and what they are term as that, they are your waste, your kitchen waste, like the banana peel, epo ogede, as Yoruba always say, epo ogede. You can give epo isu, but you must dry it. The your yam peel, that is your yam. After cutting, you can peel it and dry it and give it to them. And you can give banana peel directly. So these are some of what we term as waste, but in rabbit they are not waste. So that is to tell us that rabbit farming is good. You can do it without even having a large amount of money for feeds in when we compare it to poultry. So the breeding time is in the morning and the evening. Feed them, concentrate in the morning, and give them grasses or legumes in the evening. And make sure you give them water at libitum. When we talk about ad libitum, that is without restriction. Don't restrict water from your rabbit. So I also emphasize that don't feed spoiled or contaminated feed. Don't feed them spoiled uncontaminated feed. They are not just animals, they are living things. Please let us also maintain them as living things. If you cannot eat contaminated feed, so your rabbit should not also take contaminated feed. And if you cannot give them the water you cannot drink, don't give your rabbit. So let's look at the breeds and of rabbit we have. We have the New Zealand white, we have the California white, the chinchilla, the Angora, and other stuff. But I am going to share a slide with us so that we can just look at the picture. So that will be later. So you can just check and okay, majorly I can say you can, if you want to start your rabbit farm, you can start with the New Zealand white or the chinchilla. And why? Is because they are adaptable to our environment here, and they can survive, and they also have high fecundity. Talking about high fecundity, they can give birth to many kids as much as possible. And we also have the improved breed. When we talk about the improved breed, I know most of us are familiar with Isla Max, and we also have the Angora. We have some that are majorly for their aesthetic value. It's because of their color, their cuteness, and also. But we are into agriculture as business, so we are not using it for pets. So we should make sure we use. You can go with New Zealand white, or you can go with Chichinla. And it is in that aspect that most of us have issue, that is the aspect of selecting the breed we want to use on our farm. And I always advise us to do what? Make sure that you are getting it from a reputable supplier. Don't just buy rabbit from any source. Make sure you understand we have something we call record in rabbit. So you should be able to trace the record. You know the parent stock. You should be able to know what you want to go and start breeding, so that we not just be feeding them after when they start to when they intend to be giving you kids and they are not doing very well. So you should know that you should be able to they should have a track record. That is, their parent stock should be good, so that you can know that what you are buying is from a reputable source. So that is that about. And when we talk about rabbit, before you start mating your rabbit, that is before you start uh, breeding them, so we also call it mating. It takes to 5 to 6 months of age So when rabbits reach the age of 5 to 6 months, under good feeding, good management practice, you can start doing what? Breeding your rabbit. And that takes at least 5 to 6 months of age. And during the mating, the doe, that is the female rabbit, is taken to the buck, which is the male rabbit. I would have loved, I don't know why I am not unable to share my screen. I would have loved to show us the video how we take the doe, that is the female rabbit, you take it to the buck. So after when you take the doe to the buck, you leave them and you will see that the male will mate the female. And after the successful mating, the male will fall at the back of the female. That is to show us that a successful mating has occurred. And you can also repeat that method, at least give them also like 2 or 3 times for remating. And this process should be done early in the morning or late in the evening. Don't mate in the hot part of the day. Don't mate in the afternoon. Mate early in the morning and late in the evening for a successful mating. And I've mentioned about that before, that the gestation period for rabbit, that is the period where they conceived and when they parturiate, that is when they kindled, their young ones is 31 days. So when you, for example, now when you mate your rabbit in August 1, by September 1, you should be expecting your baby rabbit. And don't forget that rabbits, their babies are born blind, deaf, and there's no fur around them. So you need to do what? You need to, there are some necessary things, materials you must prepare ahead of their coming. You know, when we look at the, let me cite an example, that the one that is very close to us, when we look at the local chicks, you know, they always have a way of brooding over their chicks, as they take care of their chicks so that they can be warmed. So in case of rabbits, you know, they are not in their natural habitat. In their natural habitat, what they do is that they dig the ground and they kindled inside the ground, and they have a way of covering their chicks of their kids. So they have a way of covering their kids so that there will be much eat for them. But in case that you are starting your rabbit business, you must do what? You must have a kindle box. We call it kindled box. So thank you, Mr. Samuel. I think that is the slide I want to project to us. So it's going to I think all of us can see the slide, and so let me move ahead. So we have a kindling box. So you place your kindling box inside the cage. You place your kindling box inside the cage when the pregnancy is 17 days. That is why you need proper record keeping. That is when you mate your rabbit, for example, in August 1, you should write it down somewhere. That is, I mate my rabbit August 1. And by August 17, you should do what? You should place that kindling box inside that cage. So the female, the doe, will be adapting to the cage so that when it kindle, it will kindle inside the box and take care of the kids by itself. So you must prepare that ahead of time, because if they just kindle anyhow, the babies will die and you are certainly losing your money because of unpreparedness, or because you are not keeping record. You don't know when your rabbits are about to kindle. So that is that about that. And the average litter size is still 6 to 7 kids. That is the average litter size of the rabbit. At least the average amount, you can see some give birth to as high as 8 to 10 rabbits per litter. That is the time they give birth. They can give birth as much as 10 liters. You can now see that if you have like 5 females on your farm, and averagely they are giving you like 5, you can see 5 times 5, that is 25. You can see that you are in money. And I told us that this rabbit, they grow as fast as possible. So you can see this is the image of the cleaning box. So he has presented the image of the cleaning box. That is the image. So you put the cleaning box inside the cage. So, and you can see that's the image of the baby rabbits.
Yes.
They are born blind and deaf. You can see. Hello, are we together?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay, sir. So that is the image of the cleaning box. You can see the closed one and the enclosed one.
Yes.
All right. So I think if Mr. Samuel can present the video of a successful meeting to us, I will be glad, so that we can see how rabbits mate successfully. In case of that, let us just move ahead. Okay, and going further, I think this is the major aspect that is very critical in rabbit. That is, I involve a lot of expertise. That is the area of breeding. That is the area of mating your rabbit and knowing maybe the pregnancy is successful. So how do you know maybe your rabbit, the pregnancy is successful or not? So after you mate, you count 14 days after. That is 2 weeks. So you take back your doe to your buck. That is your female rabbit, you take it to the buck, which is the male. So when you take the doe to the buck, you will notice some grunting. The female will it won't allow the male to do what? To cross the female. That is a sign that your female is pregnant. And another thing you can do to note to know maybe your rabbit is pregnant is what we call palpation. That you use your hand to check maybe you are feeling some bunnies. We call baby rabbit bunnies, some babies inside it, but that one require a lot of expertise. If you don't know how to do that, so that you will not just press the head of your baby rabbit inside the mother, so don't try that. So but the aspect of you taking back your doe to the buck, that is much simpler, and you can note that when you notice that the female is grunting and the female does not allow the male to remate, that is a sign of pregnancy in rabbit. And another, the third method you can see, you will notice that the female will be growing bigger, the stomach will protrude. You know a pregnant woman, so you will be able to know that this one is pregnant. So that about that, that's as I said that the majorly the breeding aspect is more critical, and when you get that, you are now a expert in rabbit business. And okay, let's go to the business of the day when we talk about the value chain in rabbit production. Oh, no, I said agriculture has a lot of value chain, and the value chain is what we term as the business aspect of agriculture. That is when you understand the value chain, then you understand the business aspect of agriculture. And when we talk about the value chain, so some of us, this thing, even some of us cannot hold rabbits, but can you fit in agriculture? We are celebrating Youth Day. We are not just celebrating this day for fun. We are celebrating it to also know that if you cannot just hold rabbit, you can also be part of this food system. You can also be part of us, encouraging us as farmers and also participating in this food system. By doing what? You can contribute your own quota in the aspect of input. You can be in charge of sales of feed, that is the pelletized feed of rabbit. So you can be selling feeds, you can be selling drinkers, you can be selling feeding troughs. I think it has shown us the feeding troughs. So you can be making that and getting your money from it. So you don't need to be a producer. There are some value chains that is in agriculture that you can, in rabbit business, that you can also fit into it. And what other thing? You can be in production. So in production, that is, you produce rabbit, you sell at 6 weeks, you sell at 3 months, you sell a mature rabbit. This is when you become a producer. So some people, this aspect is more stressful, but if you can do it, you get your own money. Another aspect is logistics, and logistics that you supply. You start supplying people with rabbits. So these are the supply chain when we talk about logistics, moving a rabbit from one place to the other. And one other thing I will also like to talk about is of the aspect of service. You know, in my farm, we also engage in what we build rabbit cage for people, and it's an automatic cage. That is, you can when you can the cage is constructed in a way that there's a place where the feeding trough is there and the water trough is there. You add the water, you give feed. Very simple, and there's a way provided for you to collect your urine. You know that the rabbit urine is also a source of money. So I don't know, people, it will be very funny to how, or they are hearing this for a first period of time. You can make your own money from just selling rabbit urine. So the cage is designed in such a way that you can be able to tap your urine from your rabbit easily. And if you can use the urine, if you can be able to tap your urine, you will notice that your rabbit farm will not smell at all, because the urine aspect is the major that causes odor, offensive odor in rabbit. But if you can contain the rabbit urine, you have a successful rabbit business. So there are major value chain rabbit farming that you can be into. And also we have the processing and packaging. You processing your rabbit as barbecue, selling them to people. That is the aspect that you can also fit into it. Because of our time, we started lately. I will stop by 9 o'clock, and I will entertain questions by 9 o'clock. So I have 7 minutes more. So I will fast. So let me just go to maintaining a healthy rabbit health. So when you have your rabbit, I thought I talk about how rabbit does not need you getting vaccine. You don't need too much drugs for your rabbit. So when you get the cage right, when you get the cage, when you get it rightly, you will have a stressful rabbit breeding. That is when your cage construction is okay, your rabbit will not stress you. But when your cage is not okay, you will know that rabbits are very stubborn. So that aside, you can maintaining a healthy rabbit need that you purchase your rabbit from what? A reputable supplier. I've talked about that. Do proper record keeping. So that is also part of what you need to know. Keep feed and clean water fresh always. That is, don't give what you cannot eat. Don't give them water that you cannot drink. So avoid overcrowding. Don't bring too many rabbits inside a hutch, inside a cage, so as to avoid what? Disease outbreak. So, and do not allow rabbit from other people to mix with your own rabbit. That is very crucial. Don't just bring rabbit from Mr. A farms and bring it to your own farm. You don't know the disease they are carrying from Mr. A farms into your own, that is Mr. B farms. Please make sure that you avoid that. And don't just go to any rabbit farm as you like. I want to go and see my friends that they are rearing rabbit. I want to go and check their rabbit. It is not good. Maintain good biosecurity measure. I think, and in the course of our 3 days virtual training, I think a facilitator is coming to train us on how we can maintain a good biosecurity measure. But I would like to just talk briefly about it. So don't allow people to come to your farm anyhow. So I know most of us know about the disease outbreak in rabbit, the RHD. So it is common because these people enter an unknown farm and get to their farm and also. So, and all these diseases are airborne disease. So they are most of these viral infection, they are airborne. So we need to do what? We need to maintain a proper hygiene. And the cage should be strong. I told you that rabbits can be stubborn. Make sure that you make your cage should be strong, made of net wires. So you can see this cage, you can see this is the cage made of wood, and the second one is made of the wire. You see, in this method, you can access your urine in this method of using the second cage that is projected here. And so I will want to end my lecture, and I will want to talk about the major problem I always hear, that a small farmers, big farms, they always come to me, how did I market my rabbits? No, in a little time, rabbits multiply as fast as possible. I can tell you, if you start with 5 rabbits, be expecting after like 5 to 6 months, be expecting you to have like over 25 rabbits in your farm, apart from what you started with. If you understand the breeding aspect, if you know how to breed them, how to take care of their chicks, of their kids, you will be able to multiply your investment with a shorter period of time. So when you have like over 30 rabbits on your farm, how do you market it? So I believe to every one of us that are youths, I know we understand how we can make use of our phone, how we can leverage on ICT to do what? To reach far people. I can tell you, people are needing our product and services. We need to just change our mentality of just posting our picture, a fine picture of ours, just posting on Instagram, on Facebook. Know that you have what you want to say, push it out. Let people know you as a rabbit farmer, so that when they need rabbit, what will come to your mind, to their mind, is your name, because they have seen you doing this business every time. Always show up in business. So in business, don't just get tired easily. I did not make sales yesterday, I won't post today. I will leave this business, I will go to another business. Be consistent. So be consistent in whatever you do. As soon as we know how to use these ICT things, this our phones, our laptop, let us use it in a good way. You can market your rabbit. As I can tell you, I sell my rabbit as far beyond the southwest. Recently, I take my rabbit to Warri, Delta State, and I set up a farm for them and also train them on how to be successful in rabbit. And I'm hearing a good feedback from them. So that is how you always say, how will people coming from Delta State? So there are many people in Nigeria. Nigeria is very big. So we can do what? We should try to leverage on that, leverage on ICT. Let people know you for what you do. So I can tell you that there's an increase in demand for rabbit every day. So you can sell the rabbit to individuals, you can sell it to restaurants for consumption. You can also do what? Add value to it as barbecue. You can, in your own environment, you can, instead of suya that we are always familiar with, you can start your rabbit suya. People will come and eat, people will come and dine with you. So you should do what? Add value. Please let us neglect laziness, let us embrace hard work, and we should do what? I started with what? Creative thinking. innovative thinking, innovative idea, and do be consis ten t in what you do. So as you know that rabbit animals, they are laboratory animals, go to all these people doing research, ask tell them that you have rabbit. Go to all these Mr. Bigs, tell them that you market your rabbit. So if you cannot sell it to yourself, you cannot sell it to everyone. So before they will buy from you, you must do what? Know what we term as market, the word marketing, under how you can market your product. It is easy to produce, but it's very hard to market. But when you get the area of marketing very well, I can tell you, you are already a success in every of your business. Either you go for poultry, you go for rabbit, you go anything. When you understand the marketing aspect of it, I can tell you, you are already good to go. So that is that about that. And my advice on this issue of marketing is that you should what? Do a proper marketing, let me say, advertisement before you start your rabbit business. So leverage your nicety, add value to your rabbit. And okay, I've said that you can also decide to go take it to the barbecue at your area and start marketing. I understand that someone now somewhere is in need of rabbit. You should seek and you shall find. So when you seek for it, you will find it. So it is, we should know that the importance of rabbit meat to the old age. When you look at the old age, market it to them. I know most of people, this instead of the affiliate marketing that you refer people, also refer people to yourself. See all this online investment with the crypto deals is all about marketing. So if you can do affiliate marketing, if you understand the cryptocurrency, you should also be able to understand how you can market your rabbit. Is this the same thing? It's just about, I know some people are very shy in marketing, but I when I started, I am very shy in marketing. I can tell you that. But now I can see that I need to put myself out there. People must know me for what I do. So that when they need rabbit, when they need poultry, when they need to build rabbit cage, what you come to their mind is SAMAAY Livestock Farm. So that is that about that. I want us to think of value addition, think of innovative ideas, think of contributing your quota to the progress of this nation. I remain my humble self. My name is Salami Matayabami. Thank you for having me tonight. I am glad to be part of this Youth Day of Service 2022. So thank you so much. I don't know if you have any question for me before we leave for tonight.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for the chat.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
You said we can feed our rabbits with rubbish.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
possible to feed our rabbits with hay?
This was, sir.
Sir?
I did not get your question, sir.
You said it's advisable to feed our rabbits with rubbish and coffee sheets.
Okay, yes.
What I'm asking is that it is advisable to feed our rabbits with hay.
Yes, it is. That is what when I said earlier, if you get me right, you see, when you cut your grass early in the morning and you wait till evening, so it's already turning to hay gradually. But what you must do is that it must not change color. You should also maintain that green nature. That is, when it turns to yellow, it's already another thing. Don't give your rabbit a yellowish leaf. So I don't know, maybe you get my answer correctly.
Okay, I get it.
All right, sir. Please, do we still have another question? Please let us ask question.
Another question, sir.
Okay.
Assuming
Hello? Please, your network is breaking, so I can't hear you clearly.
assuming they do give us maybe 2 days
Okay.
and she refused to feed the kid,
Okay.
is there any drug or I can give the children to survive? Because I used to give them and most of them used to die.
Okay. All right. So that is why I said your record keeping is very important and necessary. So when you know the time your rabbit is going to give birth, at least you have to be prepared ahead. So everything preparation is key. So in case of that, maybe your dog kindled and you are unable to know the time that they're supposed to kindle. And what you need to do is that you take the kids, you create a box for them, and you remove some fur from the female. So after doing that, so you need to breastfeed them by yourself. By doing what? You need to have a glove on your hand. I do that very well because sometimes even the mother, they have a bad mothering ability. That is, they don't take care of their kids very well. So I try to do what take care of them, take care of their kids for them. So I do that very well. And what you do is that you take the kid, you handle them gently, and you feed them by yourself. You take the kids and you breastfeed them by yourself. So by doing that, when you start like 3 days, the first 3 days you do it once, and by fourth day you can feed them in the morning and you feed them in the evening. So even when you are feeding them, you will know when they are full, or when they are still they are not yet full. Their stomach will produce a little. You can know that these guys are satisfied. I don't know, maybe you are able to get that clearly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and we also have those that are they have bad mothering ability, and for that you can just do what, you can eat them or kick them when you notice that they did that consistently. That the first kids, the second kidling, you experience that, you know that these are bad mothers. So please kindly ask questions. So I've sent my email. You can see these are my social media handle. I've also sent my WhatsApp number so you can message me in case you have any question.
Mhm.
All right, good evening, sir.
I think my questions. I'm sorry, sir. My question still goes back to you talked about breastfeeding now.
Okay.
So the process of breastfeeding, are we? What are we to give? Is it? Are, wait, are we to as in how would I put it? Are we to carry the mother, then force the what's it called, the 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 breast into the kid's mouth from the mother, or
Yes.
how do we breastfeed
Okay.
actually?
You at least when you hold the mother and horizontally. So after that, you will be able to see their nipples. That is the mouth of their breast. And after doing that, you will take the rabbit, holding with a glove in your hands. You take the rabbit, and even when you put the mouth of the rabbit in their breast, you notice that they will start doing what normally they will start taking the breast of their mother. So it's very as simple as that. But you make sure that you handle them slightly. And when you do that, you don't do that just in a day. You make sure that you do that till they are able to walk and they are able to breastfeed. They are able to breastfeed them by themselves. So you have to help them like 14 days before you leave them to their mothers. I don't know, maybe you get that clearly.
I get that. I get that, sir.
All right, sir.
So my second question is, um, you said they are going to give that within
31
31
days.
days.
Yes, 31 days.
Yes. So you talked about the Kindle box.
Okay, sir.
So in let's say how many days interval should I put that Kindle box in their pen or something?
Okay. For a non-experienced doe, what I mean by that a doe that's killing for the first time, that's giving birth for the first time, you can introduce the box
Okay.
at 17th day. For example, when you meet them by August 1st, 17th day should be between 18th of August. So you introduce the box in the 18th day. But for experienced doe, that the doe that's giving birth at least like 2 or 3 times, even by day 27, you can introduce your box. Do you understand that? Understand that, sir?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, sir.
All right, sir. So please,
Sir,
can we
my
have two
question.
more questions before we leave?
Yes, sir.
All right.
My question still go back to where you said the rabbit give birth in the 31st or 26th
All
days,
right,
sir.
sir.
There's one experience I experienced in my past. The rabbit, I think 1.5 months before she go birth.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I can't get you, sir.
What I mean is that you said the gestation period for the rabbit is 28 to 34 days.
Yes, 31 days.
Yes, sir. But there's one rabbit in my farm. Maybe our first time, she gave birth as maybe 1.5 months before she gave birth.
Okay.
Even I know she gave birth, but until I take her back to the ball, the next day she delivered.
Okay. All right. In case of that, two things can occur. It's either your rabbit intend to give birth. I know, yes, animals are sometimes funny. You can I can't say you cannot experience that, but majorly maybe there's mistake in the time you breed them. That is the time you mate them. Maybe you did not calculate that time very well. Or the second thing that it can also occur, but to me, I've not experienced that before. At least the maximum thing I have seen is like 33 days or maybe 29 days. So minus one or minus plus two or minus two. So that's just for my own side. I think that's
Hello,
farming
hello,
everyday
can
everyday experience. So hello,
I can I
all right, you
I'm
can,
sorry.
sir.
Something to do regarding as the question.
Okay,
If you're near, there is necessary there is necessary that it shows symptoms of being pregnant without having pregnant. You want something to be pregnant. You place your toe beside the fork when you show the pregnancy and you start counting once that occurred. So maybe your male rabbit your rabbit there is going to show of pregnancy. That's what I have to add to that.
all right,
But
sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. I think what he's just saying about is pseudo
but
pregnancy,
showing this
but your service is breaking. Hello.
person.
Okay, so I think it's just talking about pseudopregnancy. Sometimes you meet your rabbit and you expect them to be pregnant, and it does not occur. So there are certain things that I have that you did that allowed that to happen. And one of the things, maybe your buck and your doe, they are closer. So in rabbit, you should make sure that your buck is more far to your doe. That is, your male is far from your female. And I forget to add this, that in your mating ratio for rabbit, you can use a buck for 5 does. That is a male for 5 females. So you can use that on your farm also. So I think we are done for tonight. I want to ask a question, and the those are answer we have a gift from me from my side. And my question goes thus, and what you just need to do is just to type the answer in the comment section. So the first person to answer is going with a gift. So are we ready? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are we ready for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My question says, which part of rabbit does not stop growing? Which part of rabbit does not stop growing? You can just type your comment in the comment section, your answer. Okay. I think Mr. I don't know, it's Mr. or Miss Tolu. Let me check the first answer.
Yes, Tolu.
Okay. Okay, Miss Tolu Oshoba got my answer correctly. That is, the teeth aspect does not stop growing. So you can just type your phone number at the comment section and I will get back to you, man. So I will end the class by saying I strongly believe that if you are not part of the solution, you are part of our problem as youth. If you are not part of the solution to this Nigeria economy, you are part of our problem. And one way, the reason why you are part of our problem is that when you refuse to do anything, when you are lazy, you are unable to arise. The topic of our youth day of service for this year says youth and useful. I want us to understand that we need to arise. This is a time that this country is calling to us for what? For support, for help. And we can also contribute our own quota in this aspect. Make sure that you participate in agriculture. So agriculture is life. Agriculture is humanity. So we need youth that are capable. We need youth to arise and do what? And we need to shine our light into this world by doing what? By our innovative ideas, by value addition, and by thinking big. You are starting small, but make sure that you should think big. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our program continues tomorrow as we have Mr. Samuel who is going to take us on poultry production. I know you won't want to miss that. So I don't know, maybe Mr. Samuel has one or two things to say before we close for tonight. Our time is fast spent. Okay, I think he's trying to display the.
Okay, sir. Please don't forget the slide you say you will share with us
Okay,
on WhatsApp.
I will do that, sir. I will do that. So, all right. Thank you for
Okay,
joining
sir.
us tonight. We hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well done. Thank you.
You're welcome.